Let me ask you what if you can. What if everything you're afraid of is just a test? It's a challenge to see if you have what it takes to believe in yourself. See, too many people let fear dictate their lives. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping out of their comfort zone. But let me tell you something, fear is a liar. Fear will have you thinking you aren't good enough, strong enough, or smart enough. But faith will have you walking through doors you never thought would open. Fear doesn't just show up in your life for no reason. It's a tool, a strategy, a trick to keep you from reaching your full potential. Every time you get close to something great, here comes fear, whispering doubts, feeding you worst case scenarios and making you second guess yourself. It's like an invisible hand pulling you back just when you're about to take off. Most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they never try. They let fear convince them that failure is worse than regret. But that's the biggest lie. Failure is temporary. Regret lasts forever. You can recover from failure, but you can't undo the things you never dared to go after. Fear keeps you stuck in the same cycle, doing the same things and living the same life, while deep down, you know there's more out there for you. It's comfortable, it's safe, but it's also a trap. Because the longer you let fear control you, the harder it is to break free. And one day you wake up realizing you spent your whole life running from something that was never even real. When you look at successful people, don't think they don't have fear. They do. The difference is they don't let it make their decision. They push past it. They act despite it. They feel fear and do it anyway. Because they understand that fear is nothing but a test of faith. Fear will tell you you're not ready. Faith will tell you start anyway. Fear will say, what if you fail? Faith will say, what if you win? Fear will scream, you don't have what it takes. Faith will whisper, God wouldn't have put this in your heart if you weren't built for it. The enemy knows that if he can control your mind, he can control your life. That's why he attacks you with fear, because he knows fear leads to hesitation, and hesitation leads to inaction. And if you don't act, you don't move. And if you don't move, you don't grow. You have to decide today that you will no longer be controlled by fear. You have to stand up and say, I will not let fear rob me of my destiny. Because when you choose faith over fear, you choose your future over your comfort, your purpose over your excuses, and your dreams over your doubt. Most people never make it past the starting line. They spend years thinking about their dreams, planning and talking about what they're going to do, but they never take that first real step. Why? Because that's the hardest one to take. That's the step that separates dreamers from doers. The first step is hard because it requires you to move before you have all the answers. It forces you to step into the unknown, to take a risk without a guarantee, and that's scary. But let me tell you something. Everything you want is on the other side of that fear. You don't need a perfect plan to get started. You don't need all the resources, all the knowledge, or even all the confidence. You just need to start, because the moment you take that first step, something shifts. The fear starts to lose its grip. The excuses start to fade. And most importantly, momentum kicks in. Think about a heavy train sitting still. It takes an enormous amount of energy to get it moving. But once it's in motion, it becomes unstoppable. Your life is the same way. The hardest part is getting started. But once you do, things start lining up. Opportunities appear. The right people show up. Doors begin to open. Too many people stand at the edge of their dreams, waiting for a perfect moment. But the truth is, there's no such thing. The perfect time will never come. You're never going to feel 100% ready. The key is to move forward anyway. Start where you are, with what you have, and trust that everything else will come as you go. The enemy wants you to believe that the first step is too risky, that you should wait until you're more prepared. But waiting isn't faith, it's fear in disguise. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. One day turns into 1 year. 1 year turns into 5. And before you know it, your dream is just a memory of something you never dared to chase. You weren't put on this earth to play it safe. You weren't created to live a life full of what ifs. That first step might be terrifying, but you know what's even scarier? Stand in the same place for the rest of your life, wondering what could have been if only you had moved. When you're afraid, you believe in failure before it even happens. Yeah. You're believing in loss, rejection, and embarrassment before anything even goes wrong. But why is it so easy to believe in the bad and so hard to believe in the good? The truth is that both fear and faith are based on the unknown. They both require you to trust in something you can't see. The difference is that fear will have you picturing worst-case scenarios, while faith will have you expecting the best. It's your choice which one you put your energy into. If you're already going to imagine the future, why not imagine it working out for you? Why not visualize success instead of failure? Why not speak victory over your life instead of defeat? If your mind is powerful enough to create fear, it's powerful enough to create faith. Every time you let fear stop you, you are training your mind to expect failure. You are reinforcing the idea that you're not capable, that you're not worthy, that you don't have what it takes. And after a while, that becomes your reality. Not because it's true, but because you believed it long enough for it to become your truth. Faith works the same way. When you start believing that good things are coming, that God has a plan for you, and that your dreams are within reach, your actions start aligning with that belief. You start moving differently and thinking differently, and before you know it, opportunities start appearing where they weren't before. You have to be intentional about what you believe. Stop feeding fear and start feeding faith. Stop entertaining doubts and start entertaining possibilities. Because whether you realize it or not, you are always choosing. And the choice you make will determine the life you live. The enemy wants you to believe that fear is natural and that it's normal to live in doubt. But let me tell you something. Fear might be common, but it isn't normal. You weren't designed to live in fear. You were designed to walk in faith. Growth doesn't feel good. Let's be real about that. Everybody talks about wanting to grow, wanting to level up, wanting to be better, but they don't tell you that growth is painful. It stretches you. It forces you to let go of things you're used to step into situations that make you nervous, and to do things you have never done before. And that's why most people don't grow, because they're too busy trying to stay comfortable. But let me tell you something. Comfort is the enemy of progress. You cannot grow and stay comfortable at the same time. Think about it. Every major change in your life comes with some kind of discomfort. Learning how to walk as a baby, you fail over and over again. Learning how to ride a bike, you probably scraped your knees a few times. Learning a new skill, a new job, a new mindset, same thing. Every time you step into a new level, there's a period where you feel awkward, unsure, and out of place. But that's part of the process. If it feels uncomfortable, that means you're in the right place. That means you're growing. That means you're stretching into something bigger than where you were before. See, most people run back to what's familiar when things start feeling hard. They try something new, and the second it gets difficult, they convince themselves, maybe this ain't for me. But that's the trap. That's fear disguised as logic. You don't turn around just because something is tough. You don't quit because it doesn't feel easy. Everything worth having requires you to push through that discomfort. The question is, are you willing? Are you willing to stay in that uncomfortable season long enough to get to the other side? Success is not for the comfortable. Growth is not for the weak-minded. The people who make it, the people who rise above, are the ones who get comfortable being uncomfortable. They learn to sit in the struggle without running from it. They understand that the pain of growth is temporary, but the regret of not growing, that lasts forever. Because let me tell you, one of the worst feelings in the world is knowing you could have been more, done, lived bigger, but you let fear keep you small. Every single time you resist growth because it's uncomfortable, you are choosing to stay the same. You are choosing to stay stuck. And let me ask you, do you want to be in the same place next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Do you want to keep making excuses just because something is hard? Are you finally ready to push through and step into the life you were meant to have? You have to rewire your mind to see discomfort as a sign of progress, not a sign of failure. You have to stop interpreting struggle as a reason to quit and start seeing it as proof that you're moving in the right direction. Because here's the truth. If you are not being challenged, you are not changing. If everything in your life feels easy, then you are playing too small. Growth comes from pressure. Diamonds are made under pressure. Strong men are built in the fire. The only way to reach your full potential is to be willing to endure the discomfort that comes with it. So the next time life starts feeling tough, the next time you feel that pressure, the next time you start questioning whether you should keep going, remember this. If it's uncomfortable, it's working. If it's stretching you, it's strengthening you. If it's hard, that means you're growing. And if you can learn to embrace that discomfort instead of running from it, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. One of the biggest mistakes you can make in life is waiting for other people to believe in you before you move. Too many folks out here sitting on their dreams, waiting for somebody to clap for them, waiting for validation, waiting for permission. But let me tell you something. Most people don't even believe in themselves, so how in the world do you expect them to believe in you? They can't see the vision because they ain't got one for their own life. They're too busy doubting themselves to be cheering for you. Think about it. How many people do you know who talk a big game but never follow through? They say they want to start a business, but they never take the first step. They say they want to get in shape, but they keep making excuses. They say they want to change their life, but they're still stuck in the same habits, same routine, same mindset. And these are the same people you're looking to for approval. These are the people you're waiting on to tell you it's okay to chase your dream. You better stop wasting your time. You can't be out here depending on people who don't even have control over their own lives. You can't expect vision from people who only see limits. When you start moving differently, when you start talking about leveling up, when you start believing bigger, people are going to look at you crazy. They're going to question you. They're going to doubt you. They're going to tell you to be realistic. But what they really mean is stay on my level so I don't feel bad about staying the same. Most people live in fear. They've been conditioned to play it safe, to not take risks, to follow the crowd. And when they see you stepping out on faith, it exposes their insecurities. It reminds them of everything they were too afraid to do. That's why they discourage you. That's why they tell you it won't work. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's their self-doubt talking. So stop waiting for approval from people who are too scared to chase their dreams. You have to decide who you're going to listen to, your faith or their fear. Are you going to let the opinions of small-minded people keep you from the life God has for you? Are you going to shrink yourself just so other people feel comfortable? Or are you going to step into your calling regardless of who claps for you? Because let me tell you, when you start winning, when you start moving differently, those same people who doubted you are going to be the first ones asking how you did it. The only validation you need is your own. You don't need people to understand your vision. You don't need them to agree with your journey. You don't need them to approve of how you move, because at the end of the day, it's not their life, it's yours. And you are the one who has to live with the consequences of playing small just to make them comfortable. You are the one who has to live with the regret of not going after what you truly wanted just because somebody else couldn't see the vision. Stop asking for permission to be great. Stop looking for claps, likes, and validation from people who don't even believe in themselves. The only belief you need is your own. The only approval that matters is between you and God. The moment you start waiting for people to believe in you and start believing in yourself, that's the moment everything changes. People act like failure is the worst thing that can happen. But let me tell you something. The real failure is never trying at all. If you fail, that means you tried. That means you took action. That means you put yourself in the game. And that's more than most people will ever do. See, too many folks are scared to fail, so they never take the first step. They sit on the sidelines, watching, criticizing, overthinking. But you got emotion. You took a risk. And that alone puts you ahead of 90% of people. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Name one successful person who never failed. You can, because every single one of them had setbacks, losses, rejections, and mistakes along the way. The difference between them and everybody else, they didn't stop. They didn't let failure define them. They understood that failure is feedback. It's just life showing you what needs to be adjusted, what needs to be learned, and what needs to be improved. And the ones who take that lesson and keep moving forward, those are the ones who win. Most people think failure is a sign to quit. That's where they mess up. Failure ain't a stop sign, it's a checkpoint. It's just proof that you're in motion, that you're making progress, that you're doing something. Most people are too afraid to do. Every failed attempt is a step closer to success. Every no you get is one step closer to a yes. Every mistake you make is one lesson closer to mastery. But you have to be willing to stay in motion. The only way you truly lose is if you stop moving. Think about a baby learning how to walk. They fall over and over again, but they don't just sit there and say, well, I guess walking ain't for me. No, they get back up and try again, and eventually they figure it out. But somewhere along the way, we forget that process. We grow up and suddenly we think failure means we're not good enough. We let it shake our confidence. But the truth is that failure is the most natural part of growth. It's how you get stronger, how you get better, how you get to where you're supposed to be. You have to change how you see failure. Stop treating it like the end of the road and start seeing it as proof that you're on the right path. Because if you ain't failing, you ain't trying. If you're not making mistakes, you're playing too safe. And playing safe doesn't lead to greatness. Playing safe doesn't change lives. Playing safe doesn't get you to the top. You have to be willing to fall, to mess up, to embarrass yourself, to take hits and keep going. That's the price of success. That's the price of making something of yourself. So the next time you fail, don't sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Don't overthink it. Don't second guess yourself. And don't let doubt creep in. You failed? Good. That means you're in motion. That means you're in the game. That means you're one step closer to the breakthrough you've been working for. If God put a dream in your heart, He didn't do it by accident. He didn't give you a vision just to leave you struggling, wondering how it's going to happen. See, when God gives you something to pursue, He's already made a way for you to have it. The problem is that most people don't trust the process. They see the obstacles, they see the setbacks, they see the lack of resources, and they start doubting if the vision is even real. But God doesn't play with your life. If He put it in your spirit, He's got a plan to get you there. Too many people kill their blessings by focusing on what they don't have instead of trusting that God will provide. Do you think you need more money, more connections, and more experience before you start? No, you need more faith. You need to move like the provision is already on the way. Because here's what happens. When you take that first step, even when you don't see how it's going to work, God starts opening doors you didn't even know existed. But He ain't going to do that while you're sitting around doubting. He moved when you moved. Think about the stories in the Bible. Every time God called someone to do something great, they didn't have all the resources up front. Moses didn't have an army, David didn't have the size, and Joseph didn't have freedom, but God made a way every single time. He gave them what they needed when they needed it, not before, not after, but right on time. And that's exactly how He works in your life. But you got to step out first. You have to trust that if He gave you the vision, He's already lined up the provision. See, the enemy wants you to believe that you're not ready, that you're not qualified, that you're lacking too much to even try. And if you buy into that, you'll sit on a dream that was meant to change your life. But let me tell you something. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He will give you the wisdom, the connections, the opportunities, and the strength exactly when you need them. But He's waiting on you to move in faith first, because faith without action is dead. The reason most people never step into their purpose is because they think everything has to be perfect before they start. But if you could do it all on your own, it wouldn't be a God-sized vision. He gives you dreams that require His help because He wants you to lean on Him, to trust Him, to walk with Him. That's why you're going to feel unprepared. That's why you're going to feel uncomfortable. But when you take that leap, you start seeing things come together in ways you never expected. Because when you move on faith, provision always follows. So stop waiting until you have everything figured out. Stop overthinking the details. Stop letting doubt keep you stuck. If God gave you the vision, He already has the provision lined up. Your only job is to trust Him enough to take the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. It's when you walk by faith, not by sight. God starts showing you just how powerful He is. Most people spend their whole lives trapped in their minds, worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. They wake up anxious, go to sleep stressed, and live every moment thinking about what could go wrong instead of what's going right. But let me ask you something. Has worrying ever changed the outcome? Has it ever put money in your pocket? Has it ever opened a door for you? No. Worry doesn't fix anything. All it does is steal the peace and joy you could be experiencing right now. Do you ever notice how kids don't stress about the future? A child doesn't sit around worrying about how the bills are going to get paid or whether they'll have food tomorrow. Do you know why? Because they trust that their parents got it covered. And that's exactly how you need to trust God. If He brought you this far, He's not about to leave you hanging now. But when you spend all your time worrying about the next step, you're missing the blessings that are right in front of you. A lot of people think that worrying is a form of preparation, but it isn't. Preparation is planning, taking action, and moving with purpose. Worry is sitting in fear, overthinking every possibility, and stressing about things that may never happen. You could be out here working, growing, and enjoying life, but instead, you're stuck in your head, running in circles. And let me tell you, life is too short for that. Every moment you waste worrying is a moment you ain't getting back. The truth is, most of the things you worry about never even happen. You spend weeks, months, and sometimes years stressing over situations that either work themselves out or never come true. And even when the worst does happen, you find out you're a lot stronger than you thought. So why spend today suffering over something that might not even be a problem tomorrow? You could be smiling, laughing, building something great, but instead, you're carrying the weight that ain't even yours to carry. Worrying doesn't just steal your joy. It steals your energy, your focus, and your ability to enjoy the people around you. Have you ever tried having a good time while your mind is racing with what ifs? It doesn't work. Worry robs you of the present moment, and the present moment is all you have. You can't go back and fix yesterday. You can't jump forward and control tomorrow. All you have is right now, and you owe it to yourself to make the most of it. So instead of wasting time stressing about things outside of your control, start focusing on what you can do today. Start trusting that God already has a plan for tomorrow. Start living with faith instead of fear, because every second you spend worrying is a second you could be using to grow, to love, to laugh, to live. Doubt is one of the enemy's favorite weapons because he knows it doesn't take much to make you hesitate. He doesn't have to destroy you. He just has to get you to question yourself long enough for you to stop moving forward. See, doubt doesn't show up loud. It creeps in quietly. It disguises itself as logic, as caution, as just being realistic. But let's be real. Doubt ain't protecting you. It's paralyzing you. It's keeping you from stepping into the life God already prepared for you. Have you ever noticed how right when you're about to leap, that little voice starts whispering, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if people laugh at you? That ain't you talking. That's the enemy trying to get in your head. And the second you entertain those thoughts, you start shrinking, you start pulling back. You start waiting for the perfect time that ain't never gonna come. That's how doubt works. It doesn't push you backward, it just keeps you stuck. Doubt doesn't even have to be true to be effective. You could have every skill, every opportunity, every ounce of potential, but if the enemy can convince you that you ain't enough, you'll act like you ain't. You'll second guess every decision. You'll talk yourself out of things that were meant for you. And after a while, you'll start believing the lie that you were never meant to win in the first place. That's how powerful doubt is. It doesn't need proof, it just needs your attention. If you let doubt live in your mind, it'll build a home there. It'll make you question things you were once sure about. It'll have you overthinking, worrying, hesitating. And while you're stuck in that mental prison, the opportunities God sent for you will pass you by. You don't even realize how much is waiting on you because you're too busy entertaining the thoughts, telling you you're not ready. But let me tell you something. If God put it in your heart, you are ready. You just have to move before doubt convinces you otherwise. You have to get aggressive with doubt. You can't entertain it. You can't debate with it. You can't sit around waiting for it to disappear. You have to kick it out of your mind the second it shows up. When that voice starts whispering, you speak louder. When the fear creeps in, you push back harder. You remind yourself who you are, what you've been through, and who's backing you. You got to drown out doubt with faith, with action, with the unshakable belief that if God brought you to it, he's going to bring you through it. Because at the end of the day, doubt doesn't have real power unless you give it some. The enemy can't stop what God has planned for you, but he can make you stop yourself. And that's exactly why you got to be stronger than that voice in your head. You have to take control of your thoughts. Take control of your actions and walk like somebody who already knows the victory is yours. Have you ever noticed how the people who make it in life aren't always the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest? They're the ones who refuse to quit. They're the ones who keep swinging even when the odds are stacked against them. See, most people give up too early. They hit one setback, face one rejection, hear one no, and then throw in the towel. But the ones who win, they take those hits and keep pushing. They understand that failure isn't final. It's just part of the journey. Success is less about ability and more about endurance. You could have all the skills in the world, but if you quit every time it gets hard, you ain't never gonna make it. Success doesn't come to the ones who start strong. It comes to the ones who can outlast the struggle. Life is going to test you. It's going to throw obstacles in your way. It's going to make you question if you even built for this. And that right there is the moment where most people give up. But if you refuse to quit, if you push past that breaking point, that's where the breakthrough happens. Every successful person you admire has been where you are right now. They've had days where they wanted to give up. They've had moments where nothing was working. They've heard people tell them they weren't good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. But you know what made them different? They kept going anyway. They kept showing up. They kept believing even when nobody else did. That's what separates the winners from everybody else. Their ability to keep moving forward no matter what. See, quitting doesn't just stop you. It confirms every negative thing you've ever believed about yourself. It's you telling yourself that maybe they were right. Maybe you ain't good enough. Maybe this ain't for you. But what if you just held on a little longer? What if you just pushed through one more rejection, one more disappointment, one more tough season? What if you're closer than you think, but you'll never know because you stopped too soon? That's the thing about success. You never know how close you are until you get there. Most people think success is about talent or luck, but the truth is, it's about resilience. It's about how many times you can fall and still get back up. It's about whether or not you can keep fighting when everything in you is telling you to quit. It's about whether you have the discipline to keep working when nobody is clapping for you, when nobody believes in you, when nothing seems to be going your way. Because that's where real success is built, in the moments where you decide that no matter what, you ain't giving up. You have to make up your mind that quitting isn't an option. You got to commit to yourself that you're going to see this thing through, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many people doubt you. Because at the end of the day, the only difference between you and the people who made it is that they refuse to quit. Fear is loud. It shows up with a million reasons why you can't, why you shouldn't, why you ain't ready. Fear will have you hesitating, doubting, and overthinking. But faith doesn't need proof. Faith doesn't need everything to make sense. Faith doesn't wait for the right moment. It moves, even when it doesn't see the whole staircase. And the truth is, your faith has always been stronger than your fears. But the problem is, too many people give fear the microphone. They listen to their doubts more than they listen to their dreams. They believe in their problems more than they believe in their potential. Too many people wait for fear to go away before they take action. They wait to feel confident. They wait for a perfect plan, and they wait for every little detail to line up. And that's why they stay stuck, because fear doesn't leave on its own. You got to push through it. You have to decide that your faith is going to lead, not your feelings. Your feelings will tell you to play it safe. Your feelings will tell you to turn back. Your feelings will tell you that you aren't enough. But faith will remind you who you are. Faith will remind you that you were built for this. Fear will have you focusing on everything that could go wrong. Faith will have you believing in everything that could go right. Fear will make you see mountains that aren't even there. Faith will make you climb the ones that are. Fear will have you thinking you alone, like you got to do this all by yourself. Faith will remind you that God is right there beside you, making a way even when you can't see one. But the choice are you going to listen to? Some of the biggest blessings in life are on the other side of fear. But you'll never know that if you let fear win. You'll never see what you're truly capable of if you keep running from the things that scare you. You have to step out on faith. You got to trust that what's in you is bigger than what's in front of you. You have to stop letting fear steal what was meant for you. Fear wants you to sit down, but faith is telling you to stand up. Fear wants you to quit, but faith is telling you to keep going. You've been strong enough to survive everything life has thrown at you so far, and that ain't by accident. You didn't come this far just to let fear stop you now. So the next time fear starts talking, the next time doubt starts creeping in, remind yourself, your faith is stronger. It always has been. You've been stuck in the what if I fail mindset long enough. Every time you think about taking a step forward, your mind drifts to the worst case scenario. What if it doesn't work? What if it all falls apart? But let me tell you something. You've been allowing fear to control your thoughts. You've been holding yourself back because you're too focused on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. But here's the thing. If you keep asking yourself, what if I fail? You'll never give yourself the chance to ask the real question, what if I fly? Failure isn't the end. Failure is just part of the process. If you never fail, you never grow. And if you're too afraid of failure, you'll never know what it feels like to soar. Think about it. Every single person who's achieved something great has had to fail. They've had to fall. They've had to get back up again. But they didn't let failure define them. They didn't let it stop them. They took it as a lesson and kept moving. But you'll never experience that victory if you're stuck in the fear of what might not work. What if, instead of seeing failure as a roadblock, you saw it as a stepping stone? What if you used each setback to fuel your momentum? What if the only thing standing between you and success is the way you see your potential? The truth is, the only thing holding you back is the belief that you can't do it. You're already capable, already equipped, but you've got to shift your thinking. Start asking yourself, what if I fly? What if this is the moment where everything changes? It's easy to let fear take over, to let those what ifs stop you from moving. But here's the thing, what if I fly is a question that comes from faith. It's a question that dares you to believe in your potential. It's a question that challenges you to take action despite the uncertainty. When you start asking yourself, what if I fly? You stop focusing on all the reasons why you can't and start thinking about the reasons why you must. You're not just imagining failure. You're picturing your success. Imagine the possibilities if you stop letting fear dictate your every move. What if you stopped holding yourself back because of the what ifs? What if the what if was a reminder of how high you can go? You've been standing on the edge of your potential, too scared to jump, but you've got wings, you've got strength, you've got everything inside you to rise. Stop wondering if it will work and start believing that it will. The only thing you need to do is take the first step. The world needs you to fly. The world needs you to show up, to take that leap, to push past the fear and say, I'm going to give this everything I've got. You were never meant to stay grounded. You were never meant to play small. You were meant to soar. So the next time that voice in your head says, what if I fail? You turn it around and say, what if I fly? Because when you stop fearing failure, you open yourself up to the great